Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Welcome to the soul of Sunday. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology. We affirm the worth and dignity of every being, and that we are all deeply interconnected. We are bound to one another, not by creed, but by covenant. And we are called to answer the call of love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Whoever you are, those of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all kinds of love, you are welcome here. As we gather, we acknowledge that Arlington Street Church occupies the ancestral homeland of the Massachusetts. By making this land acknowledgement, we recognize, honor, and affirm the sovereignty of all First Nations peoples.
Today we mark the second Sunday in Advent. We light this candle for peace. Mr. Shakur, better known as Tupac, was a famous American rapper who passed away in 1996. He wrote this poem in 1991. In the depths of solitude. I exist in the depths of solitude, pondering my true goal, trying to find peace of mind and still preserve my soul. Constantly yearning to be accepted and from all receive respect, never compromising, but sometimes risky, and that is my only regret. A young heart with an old soul, how can there be peace? How can I be in the depths of solitude when there are two inside of me? This duo within me causes the perfect opportunity to learn and live twice as fast as those who accept simplicity.
James, 2 candles. Our opening hymn is in honor of Elf Hefe and all of his elves for these beautiful holiday decorations. Deck the Hall is printed in your order of service and in the chat, as are all the hymns this morning. Please note that at Arlington Street Church, we take the opportunity for a dance break during the fa-la-la-la-las. So when you're up, you can do a little dancing. I'll dance with you. Let us rise in body, rise in spirit, and join in singing and dancing together. was great. River, I saw you getting on your little pony there. It was awesome. Such good dancers. Dear ones, again, thank you so much to Elf Hefe, Kevin Terrell. Kevin, thank you to all the elves for transforming this beautiful sanctuary for the winter holidays. If you too would like to be an elf, please speak to Kevin or to me. Zoomers, we need remote elves as well. Please be in touch. Welcome to our Zoomers, and welcome to the congregation gathered here in person. Thank you to Director of Music, Mark David Buckles. His daughter Shiloh's with him today. Hi, Shi. So glad you're here. Thank you to our professional musicians and today's volunteers, greeters, ushers, the tech team, the worship team, and the Arlington Street Church Choir. Reverend Beth, where are you? There she is. Reverend Beth's in the Zoom room and also here in the sanctuary with us. Good morning, dear one. Friends, the sanctuary is mask optional. Please find your comfort level. Masks are available from the ushers. For those of you who are new to Arlington Street, I want to say a very special welcome to you. If you're here in person, there are welcome cards in the pew racks. Please hand yours to an usher or drop it in the basket at the great doors as you leave. And for those of you in the Zoom room, please fill out a connection card. The link is in the chat. It includes the option to request a link to a recording of today's sermon. Since we can't greet all of you in person after the service, Reverend Beth and I would love to follow up with a virtual hello. Whether you've been coming here for years or today is your very first time at Arlington Street, welcome home.
Morning.
Morning, James.
If you're here in person, there are printed copies of the order of service available from the ushers at the great doors. If you're zooming in, the order of service will appear in the chat, or you can download it on the homepage at ascboston.org. Also at ascboston.org, you'll find a link to Sermon Bingo. Feel free to play along while Reverend Kim preaches. As we begin our greetings, I invite the Zoomers and those in person with a device handy to please say hello in the chat and tell us where you're zooming in from today. And now, Rich is going to turn the camera on the in-person congregation as we all wave at each other and as well as our friends in the Zoom room. And you all in the Zoom room wave and smile back. Hello, friends. Let's engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends physical distance as we greet one another heart to heart.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim ha'am lazman hazeh. Amen.
Our second hymn is the great Hanukkah hymn, Rock of Ages. It will begin with an introduction in Hebrew and English led by Andrew Stack and the Arlington Street Choir. We'll all join in at the verse in English, Rock of Ages, let our song. Friends, let us rise in body, rise in spirit, and sing together.
Kindling knew the holy lamps, priests unbowed by suffering, purified the nation's shrine, brought to God their offering, and in land surrounding, hear the joy abounding. Happy throng singing songs with a mighty sounding. Children of the prophet's word, free of fettered, wake the echoes of the songs where you may be scattered. Your darkness is cheering, and the time is weary. We shall see nations free, tyrants disappearing. We shall see nations free, tyrants disappearing.
It is now time for our treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. These candles were submitted on our website by the Friday evening deadline. If you didn't submit your candle and have a joy or sorrow to share this morning, please wait until the third candle is lit, the silent candle, and then type your joy or sorrow into the chat. Zoomers are invited to light silent candles at home. Those here in person are invited to light a silent candle at the table up front to the right of the Gleason podium. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Whether together or apart, may we stay very close. And now, in the spirit of invocation, let's join in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
Some of us come today with heavy hearts. We open our hearts to you.
Our first candle of sorrow is a candle from the Arlington Street congregation. This candle is for the deep grief at the ongoing strife in Israel and Gaza. Our next candle of sorrow is also from the Arlington Street congregation. This candle is dedicated to the Waltham police officer, Paul Tracy, and National Grid worker, Roderick Jackson, who died Wednesday afternoon when a car crashed into their worksite in Waltham. Our next candle of sorrow is from Connie and Pat Scanlon. This candle is for their friend, Steve Longro. He suffered a major cardiac arrest and was revived by CPR. He is scheduled for bypass surgery tomorrow. Our final candle of sorrow, that was our final candle of sorrow. Thank you.
And some of us come today in joy. We share your joy.
Our first candle of joy is from Lisa. Thanks to many of you, my friends and I raised $32,455 for community servings this year. This was in the form of selling 927 Thanksgiving pies. For anyone who isn't familiar with the organization, they are located in Jamaica Plain, and they make and deliver 1.2 million medically tailored pies per year to cover 6,000 people who are homebound with critical illnesses. Thank you to Arlington Street Church. Our next candle is a mixed candle from me, and it is a candle for Lado Ladoka, who recently died in a furnace explosion, leaving behind 4 children. Lado was an organizer and leader in the Maine South Sudanese community. He worked for Democracy Maine during the first year that I interned there. Lado, presente.
Presente.
Our final candle of joy is a candle from the Arlington Street congregation. This candle is for our staff and all the volunteers who are making this season festive here at Arlington Street.
the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, and for the world. Amen.
Let's join now in saying together the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra congregación, y el servicio es nuestro regalo. Esto es a lo que nos comprometemos, con vivir en paz, hablar nuestras verdades con amor, y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. Our third hymn is the Advent hymn, O come, Emmanuel. Let's rise in body, rise in spirit, and join in singing together, O come, Emmanuel.
With your captive children.
These are the lessons of Hanukkah. When the night seems impenetrable, that is the time to strike a match. When we feel the poorest, that is the time to make a gift. It's up to us to do our part for the miracle. There are many ways to tell the story of this holiday. One is a story of oppression and war and victory as told in the books of the Maccabees. That's the one I know. But did you know that that story isn't even in the Hebrew Bible? Judaism had been systematically and brutally crushed by the iron fist of Rome. The rabbis were writing in a period of similar revolts against Rome, but they were not happy with the Maccabean approach. The Maccabees, who, in seeking to win political independence for their people, sought to toughen the Jewish people and turn Judea into a rocky fortress. Instead, the rabbis believed that spiritual power would prevail. The power not of rock, but of water, fluid and soft from moment to moment, and yet irresistible over the long run. Spiritual power, they said, was the only thing that had ever brought them to true victory, and the only thing that ever would. And so the story in the Jewish scriptures focuses on just one thing: that small cruet of sanctified oil. The rabbis gave us a holy metaphor. That tiny bit of oil symbolized the last irreducible minimum of spiritual light, still there even in the worst moments of apathy and idolatry and war. Just like that, the rabbis diverted attention from the national liberation movement and refocused attention toward a miracle, toward the spiritual meaning of the light that burned for 8 days and was not consumed. Even the tiniest amount of light, they said, can be magnified into an infinite supply of spiritual riches. It's right there in the Talmud, enshrined in the Jewish tradition. A story of faith in the face of fear. Rabbi Arthur Waskow suggests that the conflict is never really between Maccabee and rabbi, between political and spiritual. The real conflict is between surrendering to the darkness and choosing to act to light a new way. We need both action and contemplation. He writes, by the 25th of every lunar month, the moon has gone into exile. The nights are dark and getting darker. This month, we're close to that moment of the winter solstice when the sun is also in exile. The day is at its shortest, the night at its longest. This is the darkest moment of the year, the moment when it's easiest to believe that the light will never return, the moment it is easiest to feel despair. In the words of American poet William Safford, the darkness around us is deep. Maybe the darkness within us is deep. At the very moment we find ourselves driven to the precipice, in grave danger of tipping over into despair, this is the commandment the Hanukkah story tells us to light the candles. The holy lamp, it turns out, is a metaphor. The Hanukkah miracle is not about military might, not even about oil, but about faith. The story instructs us to keep the faith, even when our reserves are perilously low and we're not at all sure we have enough fuel to keep faith burning. Born in 1772, Reb Nachman of Bratslav, a Ukrainian, was the founder of one of the branches of the Hasidic movement. He suffered from crippling depression, what scholars have suggested was untreated bipolar disorder. By 38, he was dead of tuberculosis. And yet, Reb Nachman railed against despair, saying we must not give in to it, because to do so would mean we have given up on ourselves, on one another, and on God. In the spirit of tikkun olam, the spirit of repairing our broken rule, our broken world, he rallied his followers to service and to work for justice and peace. It's up to us, he said, to build the world we dream and not give up. It's up to us to do our part for the miracle. I want to retell my favorite Hanukkah story, as I often do in this season. It was given to me by Wendy Koppelman, the daughter of 2 Holocaust survivors. May their memory be for a blessing. Lithuanian-American historian Yafa Eliak founded the Center for Holocaust Studies, which collected over 2,700 audio interviews of Holocaust survivors. In her book, Hasidic Tales of the Holocaust, she tells this story. When Hanukkah came to Bergen-Belsen, a wooden clog, the shoe of one of the inmates, became a Chanukiah. Strings pulled from a concentration camp uniform, a wick, and the black camp shoe polish, pure oil. The living skeletons assembled to participate in the kindling of the Hanukkah lights. Rabbi Israel Spira, the rabbi of Blitzoff, lit the first candle and chanted the first 2 blessings in his pleasant voice. The festive melody was filled with sorrow and pain. When he was about to recite the 3rd blessing, he stopped, turned his head, and looked around as if he were searching for something. But immediately he turned his face back to the quivering small light, and in a strong, reassuring, comforting voice chanted the 3rd blessing. Blessed art thou, our God of the universe, King, who has kept us alive and has preserved us and enabled us to reach this season. Among the people present at the kindling of the lights was a Mr. Zamiaczkowski, a political leader from Poland. He was a clever, sincere person with a passion for discussing religion and faith and truth. And as soon as the rabbi of Plutzow had finished the ceremony of kindling the lights, Zamiaczkowski elbowed his way to the rabbi and said, Spira, you are a wise and honest person. I can understand your need to light Hanukkah candles in these wretched times. I can even understand the historical note of the 2nd blessing, who wroughtest miracles for our fathers in days of old at this season. But the fact that you recited the 3rd blessing is beyond me. How can you thank God and say, "Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has kept us alive and has preserved us and enabled us to reach this season"? How could you say it when thousands of living Jewish skeletons are standing in the shadows of the Hanukkah light and millions more are being massacred? For this you are thankful to God? For this you praise the Lord? This you call keeping us alive? Zamiachkowski, you are 100% right, answered the rabbi. When I reached the third blessing, I also hesitated and asked myself, what should I do with this blessing? I turned my head in order to ask the rabbi of Zaner and other distinguished rabbis who were standing near me if indeed I should recite the blessing. But just as I was turning my head, I noticed that behind me a throng was standing, a large crowd of living Jews, their faces expressing faith and devotion as they were listening to the rite of the kindling of the Hanukkah light. I said to myself, if God, blessed be he, has such a nation that at times like these, when during the lighting of the Hanukkah nights, death is looking from every corner, if despite all that they stand in throngs and with devotion, listening to the Hanukkah blessing, who wrought us miracles in days of old at this season, if indeed I was blessed to see such a people with so much faith and fervor, then I am under a special obligation to recite the third blessing. Some years after liberation, the rabbi of Blitzoff, now residing in Brooklyn, New York, received regards from Mr. Zamiachkowski. Zamiachkowski said that the answer he gave him that dark Hanukkah night in Bergen-Belsen had stayed with him ever since and was a constant source of inspiration during hard and troubled times. There wasn't enough sanctified oil to burn for the prescribed time. But somehow, someone chose to light the lamp anyway. That flame is burning still. In the book of Proverbs, it says that we are instruments of the divine. Our souls are God's candles. It's up to us to be the light and bring the light to a world gone dark. Shining together, we can illuminate a very dark time. And that takes practice, spiritual practice. Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt writes, that's what authentic spiritual life asks of us. That's what this season asks of us, to bear the light and to shine in the darkness. It's up to us to do our part for the miracle. I'm thinking of the boys who were shot in Vermont at Thanksgiving time. Tashin, Kinan, and Hisham are here in the States attending college. They grew up together in Ramallah in the West Bank. They were visiting Hisham's uncle Rich in Burlington when they went out for an evening walk. 2 blocks away, a neighbor came down his porch steps and shot them. The Price family was watching TV when the news about the shooting came on. I don't understand what's going on, Rich's 8-year-old son said. Neither do I, said Rich. The three boys were speaking a mix of English and Arabic. Two of them were wearing keffiyeh, their traditional Palestinian scarf. One of them is now paralyzed from the chest down. The shooting may and may not have been a hate crime. But what I want to lift up this morning, and here comes Hanukkah. What I want to lift up is that as a reporter was interviewing Rich Price in his kitchen, and the Price's family's UCC minister was visiting the boys in the hospital, there was a knock at the front door. It was the local rabbi who had come with food and support, a light in the darkness. Beloved spiritual companions, on Thursday night, the festival of Hanukkah began with one tiny light in the darkness. Now the light is growing, each night of Hanukkah brighter than the night before, each candle a beacon of faith. When the night seems impenetrable, that is the time to strike a match. When we feel the poorest, that is the time to make a gift. It's up to us to do our part for the miracle. Amen.
Shalom.
Thank you, Mark, David, Sam, Hannah, and the rest of the choir. Arlington Street is entirely self-sustaining. It's up to us, and our generosity continues to be astounding. Thank you for your commitment to our staff, our building, and our beloved spiritual community. Each Sunday, we share our collection plate with a partner in our mission of love, service, justice, and peace. This month, our gifts will go to the Friday Night Supper program. Founded here at Arlington Street in 1984, each week, the Friday Night Supper program serves hot, delicious meals in our parish hall to anyone who is hungry. Right now at my high school, I'm taking a class called Japan, post-war to the Akihabara generation. I'm currently working on a project that examines subcultures in Japan. In the spring, I will travel to Tokyo to stay with a friend. I'm excited to witness the Japanese culture and society that I'm learning about now. This spiritual community has allowed me to look at the world through a multicultural lens of diverse voices and perspectives. Please take a moment now to join me in giving to this beloved congregation that has fostered my belief in the interconnected web we are all a part of. You can give online by scanning the QR code in the order of service. Go to ascboston.org, text your gift, or Venmo at Arlington Street. If you're Zooming, you can mail a check to the church. If you're in person, please use the envelopes in your pews, which can be handed to Reverend Beth, Reverend Kim, to me, or to any of our ushers after the service. Thank you for your generosity.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. And light one candle for those who are suffering pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in, let anger not tear us apart. And light one candle to bind us together with peace as the song in our heart. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. And what is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep alive in the flame? What's the commitment for those who have died? We cry they have died not in vain. We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, don't let the light go out, Thanks.
Thank you, Mark, David, Sam, and Hannah. There's just a little bit more decorating to do in the sanctuary. If you're here in person following today's service, please stay to join Elf Hefe, Reverend Kim, and Reverend Beth to finish bringing in the greens. Arlington Street is also looking for in-person volunteers for our post-surface coffee squad. If you are able to help by sparing a half hour of your time for coffee, setup, or cleanup, or you would like to contribute snacks, please see Sarah Cooleybeck to pick a Sunday that works for you. This is a great way for people to get involved and meet others at ASC, both old and new. And you are invited to a live chat coffee hour, the in-person version of what our Zoomers create with so much care and connection each week. Following the service, we'll gather in the Honeywell Chapel right through the leather door to the right of the pulpit. There are weekly gatherings in the Arlington Street Room for loving kindness meditation, poetry, yoga, and writing. On Tuesday evening, Reverend Kim hosts Buddha's Belly book group in the Arlington Street Meditation Center. Every Wednesday at 4, Reverend Kim and Reverend Beth host a tea party with a conversation prompt. This week's prompt is, what's something you haven't tried yet, but you might just like to try? And back in person, for all of you in the Boston area who like to sing, come join the choir. Mark David holds rehearsals here at the church on Thursday evenings at 7. No experience necessary. Information and Zoom room links are at ascboston.org. To attend any of them, you don't have to be a member, you don't have to turn on your camera or talk if you don't want to, and they're all free. All are always welcome. Following this service, everyone is welcome to join the virtual coffee hour. If you'd like to participate, please answer yes to the breakout room invitation that will appear on your screen. Reverend Kim and Reverend Beth will be at the end of the center aisle and eventually make their way to the Honeywell Chapel. Thanks to all of you who joined in today's service and to all of those who made it possible. Remember, we're all in this together. I love you.
You want to announce the fire?
Our closing hymn is Fire of Commitment. It will be led by Hannah. Let's rise in body, rise in spirit, and join in singing together.
Sets our mind and
Before our benediction, I invite those of you in the Zoom room to please reach out your hands and touch the sides of your Hollywood Square. And those of you in the sanctuary to please raise your hands, palms out, and let's send loving kindness. Let's send loving kindness to the people to your left and to your right, the people sitting next to you, people beyond them. Let's send it out into this whole beloved spiritual community and into the world and feel it coming back to you. Love is the spirit of this congregation. And now for the benediction, I invite you to put your hands over your heart in Namaste. I bow to the divine in you. When the night seems impenetrable, that is the time to strike a match. When we feel the poorest, that is the time to make a gift. It's up to us to do our part for the miracle. Let us keep this faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Bless your hearts. I love you. Amen.
Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.